Most people think of energy as something that depends on sleep, age, or how much coffee they drink. And while those factors certainly matter, there's another piece of the puzzle that often receives far less attention: oxygen. Every cell in your body depends on oxygen to produce the energy needed for daily life. From your brain and muscles to your heart and immune system, oxygen is involved in nearly every process that keeps you functioning. Yet most people rarely think about it until they notice that something feels off. They feel tired more often. Simple tasks require more effort. Mental focus becomes harder. And activities that once felt routine suddenly seem exhausting. Naturally, many people blame stress, getting older, or a busy lifestyle. But sometimes the explanation is more subtle. Because energy isn't only about how much rest you get. It's also about how efficiently your body delivers oxygen. Think about a fireplace. Even with plenty of wood, the fire won't burn efficiently without enough airflow. The fuel is there, but the system can't perform at its best. The human body works in a surprisingly similar way. Food provides nutrients. Sleep helps with recovery. But oxygen is what allows cells to transform those resources into usable energy. And that's where respiratory health becomes much more important than many people realize. Healthy oxygen intake begins with healthy breathing. For oxygen to move efficiently throughout the body, several systems must work together. Airways need to remain open and clear. Mucus must be managed effectively. Inflammatory responses need to stay balanced. Circulation inside the lungs must function properly. And oxygen must successfully pass from the lungs into the bloodstream. When these mechanisms operate smoothly, the body doesn't have to work as hard to meet its energy demands. But when even one of these systems becomes less efficient, the effects can sometimes be felt far beyond the lungs. People may experience occasional fatigue, reduced stamina, brain fog, or simply the feeling that they don't have the same energy they once had. And because these changes often happen gradually, many individuals adapt to them without realizing how much extra effort their body is using every day. Imagine driving a car with partially clogged air filters. The engine still works. You still reach your destination. But the entire system becomes less efficient. That's how mild respiratory inefficiencies can affect energy production. The real issue isn't always that people lack motivation. It's that their bodies may be operating under greater strain than they realize. And that distinction matters. Because energy is not simply about pushing harder. It's about supporting the systems that allow the body to function efficiently in the first place. Researchers studying respiratory wellness often focus on several pathways involved in maintaining healthy oxygen intake. Natural airway clearance helps maintain unobstructed airflow. Balanced inflammatory responses contribute to bronchial comfort. Healthy circulation supports oxygen transport throughout the lungs. And maintaining healthy histamine responses becomes especially important during seasonal changes and environmental triggers. This broader understanding also explains why certain plant compounds continue attracting scientific interest. Mullein has traditionally been associated with supporting natural mucus clearance and soothing the respiratory tract. Bromelain has been studied for its relationship with balanced inflammatory responses. Maritime pine bark has been investigated for its antioxidant activity and support for healthy circulation. Tiger milk mushroom has generated interest because of its connection to long-term respiratory vitality. Quercetin has been explored for supporting healthy histamine responses. And stinging nettle has been associated with maintaining clear upper respiratory passages. These ingredients are not typically discussed because they promise instant energy. Instead, they are studied because they support mechanisms involved in comfortable breathing and efficient oxygen movement. And when oxygen moves efficiently, the body often functions more efficiently as well. People frequently describe this in simple ways. They say they feel less sluggish. They have more stamina during walks. Daily activities seem easier. And they don't feel as drained at the end of the day. Not because something magical happened, but because their bodies are working with less resistance. The real issue isn't that people need endless sources of stimulation. It's that energy depends on systems that are often overlooked. And oxygen sits near the center of that conversation. Understanding this creates a more balanced perspective. Because true energy isn't just about feeling wired. It's about allowing the body to perform the way it was designed to. If you'd like a structured breakdown of the ingredients and mechanisms commonly associated with respiratory wellness, you'll find a practical guide in the description below. And if you enjoy educational videos that focus on understanding health rather than chasing exaggerated promises, consider subscribing. Because sometimes the key to having more energy isn't doing more. Sometimes it's helping the body do its job more efficiently.